Alright, hey guys, what's up? Matt from Loon Outdoors, and today we have a wide gap nymph hook, a copper tungsten bead, and some Vivas 50D in the vise, and we are going to be tying a hare's ear variation. Hare's ear is one of those patterns that you can never have enough of. You can tie them in just about every color of the rainbow. They're effective on every trout stream in America, probably in the world. And it's just one of those little options that you just always need in the box. So we're going to do this one with a little bit of a variation, and we'll explain that a little better as we get into it. So for our tail, I'm going to be using this Brahma hen. Now the Brahma hen is a cool little speckled feather, and you can get them in a variety of colors. So I just take a quick little pinch, and that's actually going to create my tail section. And I'll just go ahead and wrap that forward, creating a nice even body as much as possible. Once we get up here, we can just trim off the little butt ends, not a big deal. This is all going to get covered up with dubbing. And because we're using that copper bead, I'm going to use a little bit of amber in size medium from Uni. And this pattern originally calls for like a tinsel, but I've found that the Uni wire just offers a great solid thing, and it's way easier for guys to find rather than like a flat gold tinsel. That gets a little bit more tricky. What I'm going to do is, you can see I put the wire down the side because we're going to go ahead and go almost to the back, and then we'll go ahead and just create just a little space for our hare's ear dubbing. This is HD4, the original. If you have a hare's mask, that's like what the actual original pattern calls for. I don't go quite that far. It's easier just to grab it out of a bag of dubbing for me. Never noticed that much of a difference. You get a good blend of guard hairs and bugginess just out of the dubbing pack. I do like to go for a little bit more slender of a body. We are using a tungsten bead, and it's going to go everywhere, and for some reason it seems to go right up my nose every time I use rabbit's hair, but that's alright, we can work with it. So once we get most of the way up the body, we're going to go ahead and take our wire, and we'll just do our connecting turns. You can see it kind of matches the bead, creates a really cool look, and we'll go ahead and wrap that down. I like to have a pair of $1 toenail cutters on hand a lot of times. You can do the helicopter where you just twist the wire around, but toenail cutters seem to really do the trick for me. I'm going to take a piece of black or brown thin skin, pheno skin, skinny skin, any of those plastic back materials like you'd use on a copper john. You could use brown, heck, you could even use clear if you wanted to. So what I do is I tie that in, and that's going to become our wing case partially. And we'll go ahead and pinch a little bit more dubbing off. So once we start creating our dubbing noodle, you want to make sure, if you watch, I push the color, if you can see that on camera, I push the color out of my fingernails. That's really going to help you secure the dubbing. A lot of threads can be kind of slick, and you know, I've heard guys say, oh, I have trouble getting this dubbing or that dubbing to adhere to my thread. So that's a good trick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the tip of this feather and I'm going to cut it off. And from there, what we'll do is I'll grab right in the middle here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull back and retrim that little center section there. So what we get left with is a little bit too much, so I'm going to trim just a little smidge more out of there. And now I'm going to take that, and it looks like a V, and I'm going to take that and I'm just going to apply that as my legs. I'm going to hold that in place. I'm going to go ahead and trim that up the best as possible. So that's now going to be my leg segment, and then I'll go ahead and I'll come back in with a little bit more of our hare's ear dubbing, creating a little bit thicker of a noodle, again pressing the color out of my fingers to better secure that dubbing onto our thread. From that point, we simply can pull our wing case, and you want to do a nice wrap, not too tight. We're going to go ahead and come back in here and trim that off. And at this point, we'll go ahead and I'm going to do a hand whip, and you can notice that there's a little bit of space there, but we're going to go ahead and fill that up so that we can get the resin down in there and create this really cool looking fly. So I'll go ahead and push everything out. For my resin today, I'm just going to be using the UV hot pink, and I'm going to build this in a layer system. So I'll start right here. I'll get a good coverage. I grab my light, and I'll go ahead and cure. Now you could use clear or brown, or if you're tying an olive one, use olive here. Any color truthfully works. I'm going to go ahead and work a little bit more on my hotspot wing case here. Just being mindful of my placement. I want to get a nice bubble on this portion, so I'll go ahead and turn it upside down for better curing. Don't adjust your camera or your phone, it's right side. It's doing it right. So I'll go ahead and hit that for the full required 10 to 15 seconds. And now you can see we have this cool bubble back hotspot hare's ear. I hope you guys enjoy. Tie a few of these, go out and catch some fish. Don't forget to tie them in a ton of different colors. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.